Just when 2311 Racing thought they had NASCAR on the ropes, the sports leadership came swinging back, hard. For months, NASCAR had stayed silent, letting Michael Jordan's team believe they had control of the legal battle. But now, the silence is over, and the response is ruthless. In a counterattack that nobody saw coming, NASCAR isn't just defending itself, it's launching an all-out assault. 2311 Racing and Front Row Motorsports aren't just competitors anymore. According to NASCAR, they're an illegal cartel. It is truly ironic that in trying to blow up the charter system, 2311 and FRM have sought to weaponize the antitrust laws to achieve their goals. NASCAR's counterclaim. This is bigger than a lawsuit. It's a declaration of war. NASCAR's leadership isn't just fighting back. They're crushing 2311's case, calling out Curtis Polk by name and exposing what they claim is a conspiracy to seize power over the sport's future. Michael Jordan's empire just took a direct hit. And now, the battle lines are drawn. NASCAR under attack. For months, 2311 Racing and Front Row Motorsports were playing offense, hammering NASCAR with legal claims that threatened to shake up the sport's financial structure. They wanted power. They wanted leverage. And they thought they had NASCAR cornered. It all started in October 2024, when 2311 Racing and FRM blindsided NASCAR with an antitrust lawsuit. Their argument? That NASCAR had turned the charter system into a monopoly, forcing teams into unfair agreements that locked them out of financial growth and long-term security. The lawsuit called NASCAR's system rigged, one-sided, and designed to keep team owners under NASCAR's control. Michael Jordan's backing turned this from just another business dispute into a full-scale war over how stock car racing is run. With Jordan and Denny Hamlin leading the charge, it looked like NASCAR was losing ground. And for a while, NASCAR did nothing. That silence was deafening. NASCAR refused to engage publicly, fueling speculation that maybe, just maybe, 2311 Racing had them beat. Experts debated whether the charter system was on its last legs. Fans wondered if Jordan's influence would change the sport forever. Then, in March 2025, everything changed. NASCAR didn't just push back. It came out swinging with a counterclaim that turned the tables completely. 2311 Racing wasn't just challenging NASCAR anymore. According to this counterattack, they were the real villains. 2311 and FRM, led by Curtis Polk, have willfully violated antitrust laws by orchestrating anti-competitive collective conduct. NASCAR's legal filing. In one stroke, NASCAR shifted the entire narrative. No longer was this about a power struggle. This was now a fight for survival. The moment NASCAR flipped the script, March 5, 2025. After months of silence, NASCAR finally made its move. But this wasn't just a response, it was a counterattack with teeth. NASCAR didn't just dismiss 2311 Racing's lawsuit, they went for the kill. They didn't just argue that their charter system was legal, they flipped the narrative entirely. 2311 Racing and Front Row Motorsports weren't the victims, they were the villains. NASCAR's counterclaim was a legal sledgehammer, accusing 2311 and FRM of manipulating the system for their own benefit. The sports leadership wasn't just denying wrongdoing, they were painting Jordan's team as the real monopolists. The gloves were off, and the message was clear. If you try to take down NASCAR, NASCAR will take you down first. NASCAR's key accusations. The counterclaim wasn't just aggressive, it was devastating. NASCAR laid out three major accusations that flipped the lawsuit on its head. 1. The illegal cartel allegation. NASCAR's legal filing described 2311 and FRM as a dangerous alliance, working together to undermine NASCAR's governance and seize control of team ownership regulations. 2311 and FRM have sought to weaponize antitrust laws, while at the same time engaging in collective conduct designed to force NASCAR into a position of financial and operational vulnerability. NASCAR's counterclaim. NASCAR wasn't holding back. They were calling 2311 Racing and FRM out as frauds. They framed 2311's lawsuit as a power grab, arguing that the team didn't actually care about fairness. They just wanted to control the system themselves. 2. Interference with TV broadcast deals. One of NASCAR's biggest claims? That 2311 Racing and FRM actively tried to disrupt NASCAR's negotiations with TV partners to gain leverage in their lawsuit. This wasn't just business, it was sabotage. NASCAR claimed the team's legal action was designed to force NASCAR's hand by creating uncertainty for broadcasters. If true, this could have cost NASCAR millions in lost media deals, damaging the entire sport's future. NASCAR framed 2311 and FRM as reckless, willing to risk the stability of the sport just to win their lawsuit. 3. Threats to boycott NASCAR events. The counterclaim also accused 2311 Racing and FRM of privately threatening to boycott races and team owner meetings unless they got their way. Boycotts would have crippled NASCAR's operations, especially if other teams joined in. NASCAR's counterclaim suggested that 2311 wasn't just looking for a fair deal. They were actively trying to force NASCAR into submission. This was NASCAR's biggest move yet. They weren't just saying 2311 was wrong. They were saying 2311 was dangerous. They weren't just defending the sport. They were positioning themselves as its savior. And now, NASCAR had taken control of the battlefield. Curtis Polk under fire. Curtis Polk was never meant to be the story. He built his legacy behind the scenes, constructing Michael Jordan's business empire with precision. But now, NASCAR had dragged him straight into the fire. Polk wasn't just an executive anymore. He was the target. He was the architect of Jordan's success. But now, NASCAR painted him as an outsider who didn't belong. The counterclaim didn't just dispute his business decisions, it attacked his credibility in the sport. NASCAR framed him as the mastermind behind what they described as a dangerous power play. NASCAR's attorney Christopher Yates didn't hold back. I don't think Mr. Polk really understands the sport. I think he came into it, and his view is it should be much more like the NBA or other league sports. But it's not. No motorsport is like that. NASCAR attorney Christopher Yates. That statement wasn't just a critique, it was a direct strike at Polk's legitimacy. It sent a clear message to everyone watching. This man doesn't get our world. For NASCAR, the target wasn't just 2311 Racing, it was the entire business model Polk represented. The NBA-style thinking, the long-term leverage building, the data-driven ownership vision, NASCAR was rejecting all of it. And Polk? He was standing right in the crosshairs. Michael Jordan didn't stay silent. Through a spokeswoman, he made his position crystal clear. Curtis and MJ stand united. His perspective is if you are coming after Curtis, you are coming after him. He doesn't look at this as just business. It's personal. Jordan wasn't speaking as a businessman. He was speaking as a brother in arms. NASCAR hadn't just provoked his team, they'd made it personal. And for someone like Jordan, personal means war. Polk might not be a household name, but inside the walls of 2311, he's the engine. NASCAR thought they were targeting a strategist. What they really did was ignite the fury of one of the most competitive men on the planet. This fight isn't just legal. It's personal. It's pride. And Polk is now at the center of NASCAR's most explosive conflict in years. Denny Hamlin enters the fight. If NASCAR thought they were just battling Michael Jordan and Curtis Polk, they were dead wrong. Denny Hamlin wasn't about to sit on the sidelines. Hamlin, co-owner of 2311 Racing and one of NASCAR's most outspoken drivers, wasn't going to let the league tear his team apart without a fight. And when he finally spoke, he didn't hold back. That's like saying a chef doesn't know how to cook. Curtis has built Michael Jordan's empire for 30 years. The guy knows the business. Denny Hamlin. Hamlin mocked NASCAR's attempt to discredit Polk, flipping the argument on its head. To him, the idea that Polk wasn't qualified to manage a racing team was laughable. This wasn't just about business. This was about respect. Hamlin didn't stop at defending Polk. He went after NASCAR directly. He saw the counterclaim as a scare tactic, a desperate attempt to control the sport's future by silencing teams that wanted change. This is bigger than just us. NASCAR doesn't want anyone questioning their system. They want teams to stay in line. But that's not how progress works. 2311 wasn't just another team on the grid. It was an experiment in modern ownership, blending traditional motorsports with advanced business strategies. And Hamlin made it clear, NASCAR wasn't ready for that kind of evolution. NASCAR's legal battle had started as a business dispute, but now, it was a full-blown war. Hamlin wasn't just defending his team, he was defending the very idea that NASCAR's future needed change. The more NASCAR tried to crush 2311, the louder its leaders became. Hamlin was all in, and he wasn't backing down. What happens next? With both sides locked in and trial looming in December, NASCAR's war with 2311 is far from over. What started as a dispute over charters has turned into an all-out power struggle for the soul of the sport. If 2311 wins, it could force NASCAR to overhaul its charter system and loosen its grip on the sport's business model. If NASCAR wins, it sends a clear message: challenge the system, and you'll get burned. No matter the outcome, this case will set a precedent. The future of NASCAR isn't just being debated, it's being fought for. On paper, in courtrooms, and on the track. What do you think? Is NASCAR protecting the sport, or is 2311 Racing pushing for necessary change? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for the latest updates.